What up, YouTube? It's the Country CEO back in the house, man. Look, let's go, man. I'm excited tonight about this info that I am getting ready to share with you on tonight, man. Look, it's going to be some good stuff that I know you'll be able to put into some good usage on tonight. So, man, y'all come on in, and as you come on in tonight, hit the like button. Let's get it on and popping. See what's going on. Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. We'll give it about 2 minutes. We're on 7 o'clock. We'll give it about 7:02 to come on in. What's up, Kevin Lamar? Good to see you, man. Look, Kevin, you on these dump truck lives and stuff a whole lot lately. You must be finna get ready to make that move, man. Hit the like when y'all come in. Hit the like. Oh man, y'all coming on in. Willie Scales, what's up, man? Skybird, how you doing, brother? Seven Seas, North Carolina. That's right. Blaze, what's up, man? My homeboy from here in Louisiana, man. Hit the like. As y'all come in, I'm excited about sharing some of this info tonight, talking about what has been just can't help but to be a very popular topic lately. And as I just begin to see it every day and think about it every day, man, I just thought I should drop some knowledge and be able to help us to, what should we do about it? This particular thing when it happens like that. All right. I don't know. That's doggone going off. All right. About one more minute. We're going to get started. Hit the like as you come in. All right, Kevin, been home since September. Okay. Okay. Be home next couple months. All right. I know you've been on that stuff, man. I've been seeing you. I've been seeing you on some other channels, so that's cool. What's up, Anthony Jones? Appreciate you tuning in, man. We're gonna get started here. Right here, shortly here. Let me see. Right here, shortly. All right, I got where I can. All right, I just want to be able to put that up there. All right, all right, all right. All right. So, what's up, Gil? Gil from NOLA. All right, all right. So, man, look, yeah, as y'all can see, the title of this live tonight: 5 responses when they don't pay you. 5 responses when they don't pay you. Who is the they? That's the customer, that's the contractor, that's the broker, whoever it is, right? GC, asphalt company, just whoever it is. I thought about this thing and I just wanted to give us equip us with some information that you do have options when this kind of stuff happens. And I'm here to tell you, not to scare anybody who's thinking about getting in, but at some point or another along your dump truck journey, you are going to experience somebody that don't want to pay you. All right, for whatever reason or another. What's up, Sneaker Boy? Whatever reason, right? It's crazy, man. Obviously, this whole thing kicked off. I last week was first inbox some information about what was going on with the situation down in North Carolina, FEMA work, and some guys are not getting paid. Guy, I made the video, right, and that that video has kind of like went crazy, man. That video just I don't call it viral, but definitely more views than I normally get on stuff. And so I started paying attention to it, right, and seeing what the comments were and things of that nature. And even got an inbox from one of the guys that's involved in that conflict down there. The guy named Connor inboxed me and told me thank me rather for exposing the information publicly, about what's going on, being that the guy owes him $3 million. So the guy who's owed the $3 million is the one who inboxed me thanking me for exposing it, whatever. And so yeah, I want to be able to equip people and expose people to those kinds of things, because unfortunately it is a reality that can happen in this business, right? All right, so before I get started, let me tell my story that it happened to me, right? Before I give you these 5 responses, it happened to me. 2005, Katrina hits. New Orleans. And I mean, it wasn't 3 days after Katrina hit, got a call, but it was from a local contractor who, matter of fact, he's on one of the limestone yards. He was looking for trucks to go. He was going to take stone from his yard there, but then he had to end up going pick up some bigger stone because remember, the breach was in that wall, right? And that thing was huge where that barge had knocked through that wall, and they needed to fill that hole in. So they were putting these big boulders of limestone in there. We were going to Mississippi, right across the line, coming back, bringing it back to New Orleans, and trying to fill that hole in. So I didn't have any kind of idea that I was going to be worrying about money with him because I got to see him. He pays me when we haul off the yard, right? So work for him, got paid, no problem. All right, and then probably the next week, well, he turns it over. He got to, hey man, look, this is the guy that called me. I don't feel like fooling with all this. I got my yard to run. Y'all just take it. So we end up working for some people down there directly. And worked down there with that guy probably for about 2 weeks, man. And I think I had ran up about $20,000 with 2 or 3 trucks right quick, and went down there with my paperwork. They had a site trailer set up on site. Guy paid everybody that went. Guys that came with me and that were down there, they got paid. He wrote us out a check right on the spot. You had your paperwork to prove that you worked, because they were giving tickets out to sign while we were down there, right? All right, so got paid. All right, but it was just third time. But I got this call a couple weeks later, get another call from guy here local, and he got a homeboy from out of Atlanta, and they're looking for trucks. He got a contract. So we ease on down here, got our badges checked in, registered, got the truck certified, all this good stuff. Worked the first week. Next Friday, he paid. But then that next week, I went all in. I had sent all 3 of my trucks. I had 3 at that time. All 3 of my trucks at that time. Because before then, I was just sending 1 or 2. Because I had stuff I still was doing on this end after the hurricane. And man, that second go around, that joker looked for me. Where he at? Oh, he going to pay next Friday. Okay, next Friday. Where he at? We done went down here, had the news crew to come and meet it. Man, look, ended up losing out, got a lawyer. Didn't have enough information on the guy. I think what I lost, $11,000. It was a total of $100,000 between me and like 10 other truckers. So we had to chalk it up to the game. So I got some experience when a joker don't pay you and skip town and all that good stuff. All right. So what should your 5 responses be? I want to help us tonight to be able to understand it's not the end of the world, and there is some recourse that you can take. All right. Number 1. When it's clear that a customer, contractor, broker, whoever it is, don't want to pay you, you got your tickets, you got your paperwork, you got your time slips, you got your invoice, all that stuff. The first thing to do when it's evident there's a problem, you want to attempt to cooperate, right? Attempt to cooperate. What do I mean by that? You want to have communication that's firm, right? In your attempt to cooperate with them, you want to have communication that's firm, right? In other words, your communication with them through text, whether it be phone call, whether it be email, it simply is, hey, you owe me such and such, such and such and such, such and such and such. This needs to be paid, such and such, such and such. The work is done. We need to be paid. That's firm. You're communicating, but it's firm communication. I just had to do that. Shoot, about man, I know 3 months ago. I mean, maybe I just do it 3 months ago. Customers I'm working for around here, and things getting out of whack. 1 week past, they didn't pay. Next week past, they didn't pay. Got to that 3rd week, I got like 3 invoices out. And this is what I had to do. I firm communication. Hey, look, y'all need to pay. I'm not gonna be able to supply trucks. But wouldn't you know, a lot of them, they from Missouri. They like for you to show them. I literally had to drag up, y'all. I had to, when the foreman called that evening for trucks at night, hey, I'm not sending no trucks until I get paid. I haven't been paid, so I'm not sending no truck. And he got on the phone. He called and told him, and I took me a nap. I took me a nap at home for about 2 hours, and I was woken up by them on the phone. Hey, we got the check. We got the check. Don't worry about it tonight, but send trucks tomorrow night. Okay. But I know what most of y'all are thinking. Why does it have to come to that? Why not handle your business? Why does it have to I have to threaten you and then have to actually not do it in order for you to read my mind? right? All right. So communication. I attempted to communicate with them, and my communication was firm. That was my attempt to communicate, to cooperate with them. And then secondly, uh, you want to have some toleration that's fair, right? Communication that's firm, but some toleration that's fair. In other words, sometimes it's incumbent upon us to have a little patience. Why is that, country CEO? I'm glad y'all asked, because sometimes it be legitimate stuff that has caused a snag in why they're not paying you. I'll give you a couple that were legitimate people, legitimate reasons. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, that really ain't our problem. True, but that's why you want to have some toleration that's fair. Give them the benefit of the doubt, especially for somebody that you've been working with. Sometimes I've had instances where, uh, believe it or not, the only person that could sign check had gotten sick and wasn't there. I've had um, the check printing mechanism went out. I've had, and this is the one I know we don't like to hear because I don't like to hear it either. We didn't get paid. We didn't get paid this week. I don't like to hear that one. I'm here to tell you I don't like to hear that one. But even when they give that one, I try to it's still at least be a little tolerant, right? Um, give them the benefit of the doubt just for a week or two, right? So sometimes in the beginning, in your attempt to cooperate, give a little toleration that's kind of fair to them. Give them a week, if they working through some stuff that's legitimate, that's understandable. You don't detect that they're trying to give you the runaround. It's all legit. They're showing you that, we're not trying to dodge it. We had an issue that came up. We're gonna have you straight next week, right? So some toleration. So number one, you should always attempt to cooperate, right? All right, let's get the likes up to 28, y'all. We got 38 on. Get the likes up to 28. This is some good information, right? All right, so look, the second response needs to be when they don't want to pay you is you got to have some boldness to separate. Some boldness to separate. What do you mean, Cutter CEO? You got to separate occupationally. In other words, don't work for them no more. You got to be bold enough to separate. That means you got to say, okay, that's it. That's what I did, right? When I wasn't getting any cooperation on their part, after a while, after I had communicated, after I had tolerated, I had been patient, I then made up my mind. It's time to separate, and we're gonna start off. I'm not working for you. That's it, right? So sometimes the boldness to separate and separating occupationally don't work for them. It's just a little temporary thing. You may have to do that to get some understanding, right? I had to do that to get some understanding. They came for my money. We haven't had a problem since, right? But then there has been some where I had to. Matter of fact, I had one about 4 months ago, working for a guy, and wasn't but $2,000 something. Thank God. But I gave him 2 weeks behind. It wasn't that much money. I said, well, I'm gonna give him 2 weeks. Went down to the third week. Uh Fella didn't have the money, and he basically told me he was doing other stuff. He ain't had time to get no check together. Did you get that? Told me basically he was doing other stuff, and that he ain't had time enough to pay me. Okay, so paying folks is not a priority to this fella. Okay. All right. I said, Lord, able me to ease my hand out of this lion's mouth, and that's it for him. And can I tell you, I haven't worked with him since. All right. That's it. When you blatantly showing me that you playing with my money, I gotta separate. I gotta have boldness to separate, and then I'm gonna separate relate occupationally, but also separate relationally, right? Because anytime a joker blatantly does not want to pay you, I can't work for you, but then I don't even want to associate with you, right? So you got to separate relationally, because undoubtedly he doesn't respect you or her enough to pay you. How can you continue to maintain a friendship when you just decided you ain't gonna pay me? How can we continue to remain hey man, what's going on, all that, and you decided that you just ain't gonna pay me? No, I'm gonna just give the old high and bye. But we can't even deal relationally. I'm gonna speak because my grandmother say speaking even do a dog. A dog would be bark at you, right? All right, but I'm gonna separate relationally. That's it. I ain't got no rap. I ain't got no conversation. None of that. Yeah, Anthony, he did pay me. Yeah, I did get the money after a month. It took a month to get $2,000, and once I eased my hand out that line, see, this is where we got to be careful at sometimes. Sometimes we get mad and upset and blow up, want to cuss them out and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes if you got to ascertain, you got to use wisdom to determine the situation. See, I knew Anthony, I was going to get it. I just knew it was going to be a while with this dude. He didn't want to pay me, but I knew he would eventually pay me, right? So I used wisdom to say, okay, let me just go along to get along. Oh, don't y'all miss that. Let me go along to get along. And sometimes my grandmother taught me you got to ease your head or your hand out of a lion's mouth, right? And not try to jack it out, which means cause conflict if you know eventually you'll get the money, right? Every situation is different, case by case basis. So I knew I would get the money, right? And I did get the money, but that's it. All right. So 5 responses. I gave you one. The first one was attempt to cooperate. The second one was have the boldness to separate. They see clearly they ain't gonna pay. The boldness to separate. But then thirdly, you then, watch this, gotta be content to litigate. You got to be content to litigate. Hit the like. Look, got 28 likes on now. Let's get to 35 likes. 39 people just jumped on right quick. Hit that. Let's get the likes up to 35 for the country CEO right quick. Get that algorithm cranked up. So look, you got to be content then to litigate. So when you've attempted to cooperate, you got to have the boldness to say, okay, I'm through, to separate. And then you got to be content to say, okay, you know what? I've done all I can do. We're going to litigate now, right? What do I mean by that? All right, here goes some good game right here. I've had to do this before. I had a situation one time where I was working with a company and their machine hit my truck. I mean, literally, how the machines, the track hose swing around. These track hose swung around, hit my truck, raised it up off the ground, dropped it down. All right. And so, like a lot of them do, they try to say that it was the driver's fault. They didn't tell him to come in to the lane closure, which was a bunch of bull. All right. And so he go get an estimate, Perry. Go get an estimate. I'm gonna take care of it, right? So I don't put in about 2-3 weeks of work. So he already owed me money. So I'm going to get an estimate for you to fix my truck. Gave it to him. Then he calls me on the phone, the owner, and holler about, Perry, I just think we ought to split the difference. I said, oh no, Doc, your machine is clearly wrong. Your employee told us to come into the lane closure. No, I'm not splitting no difference, bud. All right, so watch this. I'm going to give y'all some game upon game upon game right here. He did not want to give me his insurance information. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. Can I give y'all some game right now? How to be private eye? I staked out one of his jobs, got a license plate off of his truck, and everybody knows somebody that 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 works in law enforcement. You heard me? It's more than one way to skin a cat. My grandmother say that's game upon game when they want to play games, right? So I got his information, and when you're big companies like that, all you got to do is call them to claim 9 times out of 10. People, they don't want to deal with all that, especially something small time like that. They're going to pay it, right? So watch this. So he gets upset because I did that. So guess what he did? He held my money that he owed me for working. He didn't want to pay. So here's what you can do when you got to be content to litigate. I got my lawyer to write what we call a demand letter. A demand letter is simply a letter from a lawyer, because sometimes they just need to know that you don't got a lawyer. And the lawyer wrote the letter, just simply says, hey, this is an official demand for you to pay, blah, 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 for the above receipts, had copies, all that, had my stuff together, send them demand letter. All right. And so my lawyer called them and all that good stuff. And so the response he got over there was going to get back with him in a week or two. All right, week or two went by, didn't hear nothing. Okay, this joker really want to play hardball. All right, so after you activate a lien, that's what I did. I activated a lien on a job. All right, this is the next move. Oh, I'm sorry. After I did the demand letter, then I activated a lien. All that is, go down to the clerk of court's office in your county and tell them you need to put a lien on a job that you've been working on. All right. They're going to ask you all the details about the job. You got to bring your tickets and everything, your invoice and all that to prove that you worked on that job. And you file a lien on the job. It might have been $30, $40. I filed a lien on the job. Here's what the lien does. The county can, or county, state, whatever, it don't even matter. They will not close out that job until all expenses of that job is paid for. If y'all, if that's game right there, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know y'all ain't sleep. I mean, give me a thumbs up in the chat if that's some game right there, right? So that's something you can do. I did a demand letter, but then I activated a lien, right? I'm at this point, I'm just content to litigate. Okay, knucklehead don't want to cooperate. All right, I done separated. So now I'm gonna just be content to litigate. We're gonna deal with this in a legal way at this point. All right, so the lien is in place. Now watch this. The lien doesn't stop the job from going on. The lien doesn't prevent any of that kind of stuff and all that kind of stuff. He can still finish the job. All right, but watch what happened. Watch what happened. Now, I'm sorry. He paid. By 2 weeks later, he went on and paid. Hey, they called me. Hey, you got a check in a minute. Check coming. I went down there and picked it up, no problem. I know they upset with me because you got to fix my truck. So I ain't had no more money with him. I left him alone. Okay, cool. I had forgot about the lien and had started back working for people about a year or two later. How about I had to end up, because they were just finishing the job, I had to go they called me up one day, hey, Perry, you got a lien on the job. Can you go down there and release the lien? I had totally forgot about the lien because he had paid me. I didn't work for him. Then he called me up 2 years later. I ended up deciding to go work for him. And I had to end up going down there and release that lien. That showed me for sure. I'm not telling you what somebody told me. The lien works. And so I had to literally go down there and take the lien off the job. So that's a response that you can have. Don't give up. All right. So after you can either activate a lien, but then you can activate a lawyer, right? Joke on pay, the lien ain't work. Go ahead and just get your lawyer and file suit. That's all. All right, now watch this. Also, as an option in litigation, you can take them to small claims court. You ain't got to get no lawyer for small claims court. You can go to small claims court with your justice of the peace and city court, things like that. They call it small claims court for a certain amount. You got to find out what's the amount that you can take them to small claims court on, right? And you ain't even got to get a lawyer for that. But other than that, if it's a big amount, just go and get a lawyer. Let the lawyer go and sue the joker, lawyer's fees and everything. That way he had to end up paying your lawyer. You got the paperwork. The joker got to pay. The only way you don't get paid if the joker on out of business finna go bankrupt anyway, right? But if it's a long-standing company, they ain't going nowhere. They're going to have to pay your lawyer's fees and all that. They ain't going to want to go through all that. They're going to pay you your money 9 times out of 10. All right. That's the game on that right there. That's the third response, right? So let me recap again. Attempt to cooperate. That's your first response. Your second response, they don't want to cooperate. Be bold enough to separate. All right. After you be bold enough to separate, be content to litigate. But then fourthly, be determined to denunciate. Be determined to denunciate. What do you mean by that? After you have had this problem with this contractor, with this broker, warn the truckers. That's how you got to be determined to denunciate. Denunciate means public condemnation. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not talking about condemning them as a person. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking about condemning their business practices. Talk, boy, right? Public condemnation. You're not condemning them as a person. You're condemning their business practices for being crooks and practicing crookism and not paying you. Warn the truckers. That's how you deal with them jokers in a psychological way as well. Warn the other truckers. Hey, man, I wouldn't do that. They didn't pay. They don't like to pay. There's a few around here that we still get warned about. Hey, man, be careful. They don't like to pay. Hey, man, be careful. They take a long time to pay. Hey, man, be careful. I had to wrestle my money away from them. Hey, man, be careful. I had to get a lawyer on them. Warn the truckers. Warn the truckers, right? You have a responsibility to let everybody else know what you went through with this joke. You ain't got to give them the detail, but let them know he ain't pay. That's all a trucker need to hear anyway. He don't like to pay or she don't like to pay. It's going to be a problem right there. So warn the truckers. But then after you warn the truckers, warn the public, right? Because if we got us a crook in the midst that ain't good for nothing, then guess what? He may do other kind of businesses, and the public needs to know that we got a crook in our midst, right? Because look, that's just a low down, dirty scound, as my grandmother would say, scound. I don't even know how to spell that, but she used to say that, a low down, dirty scound that just do not want to pay his bills, right? So other folk, even the outside of the truckers, need to know who that is. Be determined to denunciate. Do not keep it to yourself after you've had to go through what you went through with these people. Everybody need to know who that is, right? That's your fourth response. All right. So watch this. All right. I'm coming, Ken. I'm gonna get through it. Then I'm coming back to you. I'm gonna come back to questions because I want to talk about this with y'all. All right. Fifth thing. After you've attempted to cooperate, after you've had the boldness to separate, after you've been content to litigate, after you be determined to denunciate, then finally examine those who affiliate. Ooh, examine those who affiliate. What am I saying? DNC channel supporter. Shout out to you, brother Fredericksburg. You definitely checking in tonight. Examine those who affiliate. Contractor CEO, what are you talking about? Contractors and brokers who are associated with this joker that don't want to pay, beware of them as well, right? Examine. You got to examine, because typically birds of a feather flock together. Business folks hang out and hang with other business folk. So what you want to do then is examine those who affiliate with that joker. Maybe another broker, maybe another contractor. Make sure they are not associated by friendship or kinship, right? Because they potentially could have the same business practice. I'm not saying we put everybody in the same box, but that's why I call it examine, right? So you can be careful and that doesn't happen to you, right? So contractors and brokers who are associated by friendship and kinship, you need to examine, right? Those who affiliate with them. So what? So why are we doing that? So we don't fall in the same trap again. So we can try to prevent it from going through that type of thing again. So we won't have a partner, or a friend, or a family member that's get stuck by them, and because they just didn't know, because we didn't talk about it, right? And then finally, examine the contractors and the brokers who affiliate with them by perspective and practices. They ain't got to be kin. They ain't got to even be a family or friends. But if you see a broker and a contractor that seems to have the same mindset as a Joe Blow over on the other side of town, that they don't even know each other, but he seems to have the same mindset, perspective, and practices, then hey, you don't want to fool with him. You want to fool with him because he may start off good, but sooner or later down the line, you're going to have a problem with him. You're going to have a problem with him. All right. All right. I'll tell you about another experience that I had last summer. I believe it was. Girl was a broker. She had the deal to haul some limestone to this big old it's called Co-Meet Diversion Project, but basically it's a big old trench that's being dug by the federal government for flood, to alleviate flooding. Whole bunch of limestone got to go in there. So unknowingly, I goes to work for this lady. She calls me, hey, I heard about you. Would you like to come out? I said, yeah, what's the rate? So okay, rate seems pretty good. I'll come haul. And man, I'm in line getting loaded. Go to show you how truckers talk. I'm in line getting loaded. One of the homies saw me, called me for, hey, Perry, I don't know if you want to work for her, man. She don't like to pay. I say, huh? He said, yeah, man, she don't like to pay. I say, uh-oh. Dude, y'all know what I did, don't you? I got off the phone with him and called her. I said, hey, Yeah, look, this Perry Jones. I said, look, I just got a phone call. I said, what's this I'm hearing about you don't like to pay? Oh, no, that ain't true. Mr. Jones, I promise you, you're going to get your money. I don't know why some of those guys are trying to do me like that. Blah, 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 blah. So, okay, I say, so you show I'm not going to have no problem. I have my money. He said, I promise you, you're not going to have a problem about your money. I said, okay. Now, watch this, fam. At that point, I had a choice to make. That's why I got to use my wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And I said, okay, I'm the only truck I got over here today. I was actually on the truck myself that day. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try her out with one truck. I'm not going to load this thing up with trucks. I'm going to try out, see what's going to happen. Made a few phone calls. Other guys say they got their money. So we got one guy saying she don't like to pay. I got some guys saying she'll pay. They did get paid. And I tried out and she paid. Didn't have any problem with it, right? But that's what we got to do, stick together and pass along information like that so we can prevent other brothers and sisters from getting stuck in situations like that. All right. So let me recap what we talked about tonight. 5 responses to customers and brokers who won't pay you. Attempt to cooperate, have the boldness to separate if they don't. At that point, be content to litigate. Got to get legal on it then. Be determined to denunciate. Let everybody know about them. And then examine those who affiliate. Watch out for their friends and family who might enjoy doing the same thing, running up a bill and don't want to pay. All right. All right. That's my lesson for tonight, man. Look, I enjoyed this. I'm going to look at the chat and see what y'all are talking about. I think it was something else I wanted to. Oh, that's what a good friend of mine here locally who has 12, 13 trucks. We were talking today, and I was telling him that I think one thing, this is gold. It's going to be a nugget for y'all. This is going to be a nugget right here. He told me, we were discussing today, and I told him, I said, he's having a problem with Joker loan paying him. And see, I know other places you guys have shared with me, and some of you guys places that 45, 60 days is normal. That's just not normal here in Louisiana. That the culture always is here, and everybody got their own dump trucking culture wherever you stay at, right? The culture here has been you work a week, you get paid the next week. That's the norm. That's pretty much how 90% of the brokers and contractors pay in Baton Rouge. We have a few people that pay 2 weeks, right? I think I know one that paid 3 weeks, but other than that, that's it. So I don't even know what it feels like to get paid in 30 days unless somebody just grossly late, right? So here's what me and him were talking about. And here's goes, I'm going to share this knowledge with you guys. I told him, I said, you know what we may need to do? So the brokers and the contractors give you a hauler packet to haul for them, right? And if you're familiar with the hauler packet, give me a thumbs up. Most of them give you a hauler packet, and you got to fill that out, and it's got all these stipulations, right? What your responsibilities are, what you expected of, got to maintain insurance, got to drive the speed limit within the plant, you responsible for your own breakdowns, all of that. All right, everybody's familiar with the hauler packet. So the hauler packet is what they haul agreement. There you go, Skybird. So the hauler agreement, basically, trust me, is them laying out to you what's expected of you, but also don't make no mistake. The hauler packet also is to protect them. All right. So I told my friend today, and it just came to me. I say, dude, why don't we? And this come because of the slow paying. Why don't we activate a 1.5% interest rate charge for any customer who is a week late over the agreed upon time payment period? In other words, for us, just say, for instance, if it's just like they give. So here's how we would frame it. Here, how look, we in overtime now. This is gold right here, y'all. This is gold. Here's how we would frame it. We would frame it in just like they give you a hauler's agreement, Skybird. You give them your hauler's agreement, your hauling agreement. They give you a hauler agreement. You give them a hauling agreement. And you lay out what your expectations are in your agreement to them that they have to also sign. And as a part of that hauling agreement, you put in there that, okay, do you agree to pay your pay? You pay your pay pays every other week, right? Okay, so whenever you don't pay me every other week, then one at the first week, there is a 1.5% interest charge on the gross that you owe me. Chalk Jones. So since we're about issuing out paperwork to make sure that you have the truckers to understand what's expected of them, how about, I think it's only fair that the truckers say, okay, well, hey, I ain't got no problem with signing your agreement. I got a hauling agreement that if your machine tears up my truck, damages my truck, that you'll be responsible for repair. That you can add in some things that we need to be secured about, and then here comes that payment clause, right? Anything, and I'm just throwing numbers out here. Anything that's over 2 weeks late is 2% of the gross that you owe me. And then you increase it every 2 weeks later, whatever, every week, however you want to do it. Y'all get the concept. Y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. So that's what I was telling my friend today, and we was excited about it, man. The Lord gave it to me, and I was like, that's what they issuing out haul agreements. Let's create our own hauling agreement, and we can put that stipulation in there, and we both agreeing to the terms that we both expect of each other, right? Right? Because watch this. Some of these haul agreements, they don't say nothing about that kind of stuff, right? All right. If you got a haul agreement that don't stipulate when you get paid, that's not a good haul agreement. So what you do is create your own hauling agreement that talks about when you expect to be paid. All right. Now, if you sign a hauler agreement that says when they're going to pay, then all you can do is hold them to what they've already agreed to. Right. So you can't change their agreement because you signed what they said they're going to pay you every 2 weeks. Right. So we got to make sure we understand that. But go check your hauler agreements, y'all. If you ain't got nothing in there about when they supposed to pay you, then you may need to introduce that in your own hauling agreement, right? All right, so look, that's all I got for you. That was the nugget that just came to me today. I said, oh wow, I got to share that on the channel tonight with the fam, so we can try to protect our guys. All right. So let me go up. I'm gonna entertain some of these questions and comments here. I got about 8 minutes before I have to get off. All right, let's see what y'all talking about here. I know I spoke to a lot of you guys all the way up to Sneaker Ball. Hey, Kenyatta, Kevin and Raina, what's good? Met those guys at the networking event in Charlotte. What's good? Good to see you guys. Out of sight, good to see you. All right, Kevin has posted a book, Protecting the Rights of the Owner Operator by Henry Seaton. All right, cool. I like that. I'm going to get a picture of that. All right, thank you, Kevin. I like that. Gil, if your contract doesn't pay you, big country, do you still accommodate your employees with compensation? Yeah, I've already paid my guys, so I'm out. Either way it go, I'm out of it, right? My guys gonna get paid regardless. I don't withhold back my guys because me and a contractor got a dispute or me and a broker got a dispute. They ain't got nothing to do with that, right? Gil. So no, I'm gonna pay my guys regardless, and on that. Let me tell you this. Let me say this, Gil, as well. I've paid my guys off a rate that was agreed upon from a contractor, only to have the joker come back and change the rate. And I had already paid the guys. I'm not going to penalize those guys because the guy changed in midstream on me. I just take the little loss, right? So yeah, I even go that far. All right. Anthony Jones, yes, sir, he did pay me. Gordon Reed, Jesus Authority LLC talks on. Let's get it. What's up, Gordon? Man owes me for file load right now. About 2 weeks, case suspended. Yeah, man. File load for 2 weeks, huh? He should have been able to pay that, huh? Don't let him go 3, though. That ain't no reason for them to go three weeks behind file loads. All right, Kenyatta, we're looking at a Mac Granite 64 FR. Question, what does FR stand for? And we're looking at a Granite GU73. What does GU stand for? That's just the model. That's just a model, like a Granite 64. I got a Granite GR 60. I think it's GR. I think mine's GR 64, and I got a GR 84. My quad axle is. And so that's just the model, Kenyatta. That's just a model of that particular. Granted, the GU, it used to be CV 713. When the Granite first came out back in the early 2000s, it was the CV 713. So that's just a model of that particular Mac. Because watch this, you got a CH Mac, you got a RD Mac, right? And so those are the different models of the truck that it comes in. Say for instance, with Western Star, there's the 47X and there's the 49X, right? I got two 49X. I got five 49X Western Stars. I never did buy one of the 47X. So that's just the model of the particular truck. All right, what's up, Ali Shop? All right, appreciate you, Gordon Reed. What's up, Mike? Chris George, what's good? Scales, why I'm still at Vulcan, they pay on time today. 5 loads of construction saying 21 mile, 130 load. All right, all right. 5 loads of construction saying 21 miles, 130 load. Okay, okay, okay. All right. And that is one thing you got to worry about, the limestone yard, especially a Vulcan. They're gonna pay. They're multi, just multi-billion-dollar company, if not million for sure. You ain't got to worry about them. They gonna pay. The sports going Big Q saying, what's up? Ken, you took your comment back. DNC Fredberg, all right. Willis Scales. Willis say God still working on me 2000. Yeah, look, Willie, that's how I felt about that 11,000 after Katrina. But what could you do? We tried to handle it civically. But like I said on that video, I know some guys that'll be ready to take a patch out somebody behind that kind of money, man. Everybody, let me just say this, everybody doesn't have great understanding when it comes to you playing with their money. That's about the best way I can put that. Everybody don't have great understanding. I'm not an advocate of violence. God knows I'm not. But everybody don't have a great understanding when it comes to money. I got a friend of mine, another trucker up here. He has one truck. We were talking the other day about that. And he's one of them guys. He got a little temper with him. He'd be the first to admit it. And he told me, he said, country, I said, I can tell you. He said, I'd have been trying to figure out where his address was. He said, I'm leaving away from there with a couple of trucks or something. He said, but he going to have to tell me something. He is that kind of fellow, And so everybody don't have the kind of understanding about, okay, well, I'm going to try to do that. But I felt it was incumbent upon me to issue out a responsible way to the dump truck community of how we should handle it when they don't want to pay you, right? All right. Sonia Jones, discernment for sure. Great night. What's up, Draymond Jones? Curtis, with his kid, I need to find me some work like that. That's a good company. Okay, yes, sir. Skyberry, appreciate you, brother. What's good? Do you work with Vulcan Direct go through truck style? Okay, y'all talk about that. All right. Mo Jasmine, what's up, dude? All right. David Chamberlain, did you guys a new color? No, David, far as I know, they haven't got paid yet, man. I'm staying tuned on that one. I really wants to see how that's gonna come out, man. It's already nasty. So yeah, we keep an eye on that one. Ken, true, but might not work for most, especially when you try to get in. They will sideline you. I don't forget what that's in response to, Ken. Come on back, tell me what that's in response to, Ken. All right, Sneaker Boy, we should have that hauling agreement. You on to something great? I'm with it for sure. Anthony, I need a truck yard to park my truck. I'm in South Louisiana. Look for some lots, man. Look for some lots, Anthony. Sometimes stores will let you park, that kind of thing. Kevin, integrity is assumed by the truckers, even if they sign several documents that indicate the broker doesn't trust them. Yes. Yes. Kevin. Yes. Oh my God. Let me read that again. Integrity is assumed by the truckers, even as they sign several documents that indicate that the broker doesn't trust them. Right? We just assume as we enter into these agreements that they're gonna pay us. We ain't got no paperwork to help support us, right? We just assuming that they're gonna do the right thing with us, while at the same time they're getting us to sign a bunch of paperwork to let us know they protecting themselves and making sure we're held to certain standards and ideas, right? Boy, you said a mouthful right there. All right. Sneaker Boy, I'm assuming a lawyer can draw that up for us. Yes, for sure, Stephen. Sneaker boy, here's a clue. Use the hauling agreement that they gave you. You can look at that and begin to put yourself in their shoes as it relates to how you want to be protected, right? We're specifically talking about tonight about money, right? But what other ways would you like to be protected on the job? I mean, give me a thumbs up in the chat if your truck has ever been hit by a machine, right? I've had over the years at least 5 instances where machine hit my truck. Y'all know truck hit the Volvo. What, last year? That truck was out of commission 3 months. All right, at the limestone yard, and the loader bagged into it. So how do you want to make sure you now? Don't get me wrong; they know they got to pay in a situation like that. But what if it was a situation where my driver was bagging up, the loader was bagging up at the same time, and the guy comes to me and say, you know, it ain't my fault; it's your guy. And my guy saying, no, it ain't my fault; it's your guy. Then what you gonna do, right? All right, so that's just an example. So look at their hauling agreement. I've been looking at it, and you can take the meat and throw the bones away. Take what applies to you as a trucker and start to craft it from there. And yeah, get with a lawyer. Lawyer can draw that up for sure. All right, Raina, what's good? What's good? Channel supporters, shout outs to you. All right, Chris Jaw, love to see trucks come my way for a filler. Yeah. Sure, Gordon. Why is that as a driver we try so hard to win, but broke the contract? Want their hands greased too so they can stay steady with work. Yeah, that's Gordon. I don't know, man. It's I don't how should I say? There is a business, and I understand that brokering out stuff. It happens in every business, right? I mean, you can, it could be a janitorial service, and someone wins the janitorial service contract to clean the Empire State Building. They ain't got to be the ones to actually do it. They can go broker that work out, right? And have somebody to do it. The people go do it, and they pay the people to do it. They get the check. They make a small profit off of it, and the people are happy too, right? Here's the key. It's a business principle that's been around for years, but here's the key. Here's where the problem come in at. The problem come in at with what we're talking about tonight, joker that don't want to pay you, and how much they're paying you. See, me and my friends talk about this all the time. We don't have no problem with a broker contractor making money. The problem begins when they cut too deep. They cut too deep when there's money in the job. Give you an example. The guys in the dump truck only chat said the rate for the trucks in Western North Carolina that the government is paying is $250 an hour. Let that sink in. $250 an hour. And everybody's all hip hooray when they come say, hey, come on over here for 150, because that 150 look good. If the government paying 250. Talk Jones. Y'all feel me? So look how deep. I mean, how freaking deep you need to cut. You got to make $100 an hour doing nothing but paperwork and dispatching. So bring that down on just a regular everyday around here scale. The problem is when the brokers cut too much. It's not the principle of brokering. I subcontract, but I make sure my truckers are going to get paid market. Matter of fact, I go $5 more than whatever the regular rate is. That's what I try to do, because I want to see people win, right? The problem is what we're talking about tonight. They don't pay, but when they cut too deep, y'all, that's the problem. The rate 250 over there, you got guys paying 150, 130, 135, that kind of stuff. Come on, man. How much money you need to make? See, the idea of sowing seeds into people's lives has went out the window. I'm a seed sower. Yeah, I'm in business to make money. True, I'm going to make a little money. But also, it's more important that I sow a seed, because when I sow seed, I know the agricultural principle of life is true. You sow something, it comes up and it comes back to you. My grandmother used to put it this way: son, do you do good, good will follow you. And I live my life by that. There you go, David Chamberlain is greed. Right? So that's the problem. All right. This big old ditch, basically, that's being dug here to alleviate the flood. And it's an Army Corps engineer's job, which means it's a federal job. We found out we were getting $7.50 a ton hauling limestone to this project. And from where the yard is, we were doing good. We were $1,500, $1,600 a day. We was cutting head. That was a pretty good rate. I was satisfied with it. I mean, you can go out and make $1,500, $1,600 a day with a truck. That's good money. I wasn't tripping at all. But it's so crazy sometimes, David Chamberlain, that the brokers got to jostling and undercutting each other. Y'all ain't gonna believe that. The brokers got to cutting each other. Now we know we see that stuff happen sometimes with truckers, right? But the brokers started cutting each other. Yeah. So what went from a $7.50 a ton job, the joker that ended up with the job, because they went and cut, come back around to the same trucks that haul for the other broker and wanted us to do it for $6.50. That's where the problems come in at, when you got that janky, jacked up stuff being done by the jokers. That's where the craziness come in at. All right. So, and then watch this. Watch this. Let me really blow your mind. I told you you're paying the trucker $7.50 a ton. I found out from a little Tweety bird on a limb that told me, CEO, you want to know how much the haul rate tied up into that job? I say, come on, man. $15 a ton for the haul rate. I like to holler. I say, what? The haul rate is $15 a ton. We found out what was happening. And that's the problem with these federal jobs. Personally, I'll do them, but I ain't no big fan of these federal jobs. Give me the state level job any day that's regulated by the state folk, because the federal is red tape, is bureaucracy, is bull junk, and they bring out the buzzards. $15 a ton. We were getting paid $7.50. Here's what we found out. The contractor who directly had the job from the Corps had they cut in it. They subbed the rock spreading and piece of the job to another company. They cut it. And then that company is the one who got the broker to get the trucks. They cut it. So what we found out, David Chamberlain, is by Skybird, by the time it got to us, the rate had been cut 3 times. It was $15 in the job. By the time it got to the trucker, it was $7.50. That's what be going on. And it happens notoriously with federal jobs. That's why, we were all excited. Oh, going down to Katrina after 2005. Man, they paying $90 an hour. They paying $90 an hour. Here at the time, the rate was $55 in Baton Rouge. So, oh my God, $90 an hour. We're almost doubling what we're getting paid here. We got to go to New Orleans, man. Got to go make this money. There's a saying in dominoes: all money ain't good money. All right, y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If you are, give me a thumbs up in the chat. All right, so let me let y'all go. But that's the problem. Oh, let me finish my questions. All right, Anthony Mines is E7 Mac. Very familiar with E7. Had plenty of E7s. What up, CEO? Just finished my first season. Cool. David Chamberlain finished up his first season as a dump trucker, man. David, where are you out of, and how did it go? Got a 2000 Mac. I like that. Very familiar. My very first brand new truck was a 2002 RD Mac. I know very well about RD. David Chandler, I tell people, man, look, RD Mac with 464 rear ends with that Eaton Fuller double 8LL transmission will pull a stump out the ground. That's what I used to tell them. That joker will pull a stump out the ground, man. They used, when I was driving myself, whenever we would pull up on jobs and the ground was bad, they would always let me go first because they knew one thing: if I got stuck, the rest of them ain't had a chance. That RD Mac ain't no joke. I'll tell anybody. DC say, the old guys around here keep a hawk bill on their bodies. Boy, look, man, look, I like that kind of talk right there. Look, we call DC, we call it a moose hip. We call, some of them call it call it a cow leg, or a moose hip. That's what they call it around here. They keep that moose hip on them, or they keep a cow leg on them. And if you know, you know. If you know what that terminology means. Oh my goodness, that's funny. All right, Kevin has a CXN. Okay, familiar with that. Appreciate you, Chris George. All right, coming on down. CEO, do you ask companies if you can go up on your rate, or do you tell them you going up? Both out of sight. I've had some where I've tried to talk to them about, hey man, we need more money. Matter of fact, we're in the process of that now. We went to the company that we work for every day about it, that we need a raise. And nothing's happened yet. They told us they're going to take it under consideration. They needed to finish out the jobs they had at the rate that they were bidding on. Okay, I understand that. All right, but coming into new jobs, we're expecting to see something, So yeah, I have asked, and then also I have told. Okay, look, my typically out of sight, my strategy has been any new customer, I'm automatically going up. Anybody that's new, you're not getting it for what my bread and butter people are getting it for. You got to pay more. So that's my strategy. So someone, you can adopt that. I'm going up with any new customer. I tell all the dump truckers, hey man, anybody new, you need to go up. Don't give them the same, don't work for the same rate. And that's how, watch this, collectively, we can help push the rate up if everybody starts going higher as they go. All right, that's a great question. Yes, sir. And take the meat, throw the bone away. 130, that's right, David. Mike White, how do you know what a broker is getting if you're just a driver doing the work? Mike, it's just it's ways to find out. People talk. But here's the double dipper what the brokers do. I'm gonna tell you what the double dipper what the brokers do. Typically, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets under my skin, especially when it's people who have never got in a truck, drove a truck, don't know what it is to feel like being a dump trucker. They're just people that connected and went and got, typically they're connected to somebody gave them the hookup. And a lot of them don't even have trucks. They don't know what it feels like to be a dump trucker. That's number one. All right. And so it ends up being a hookup deal. Now, most truckers who have been a trucker and they subcontract, the guy pretty much is just going to basically make $5 or $10 an hour off you. And that's fine. Most guys, that's customary. But what the broker does, the broker gets you both ways. The broker gets you on the hourly rate and a percentage. Here's how they do it. They're going to tell you the contract that the job paying $100 an hour. Really is paying 125, 130 probably. So they gonna get you for more than the 5 or 10, just another dump truck asks for, right? So he already got you right there. The rate is probably 125. He gonna tell you 100. I'm just using numbers. He gonna tell you 100. Then he gonna tell you his broker's fee is 1 or 2% of the 100 or 5%. Some even do 5. He gonna tell you his broker's fee is 5% of the 100. That's the game. Let me give him a calculator. I'm going to show you how much money that is. Where's my calculator? Show you how much money that is in a week's time, what they doing. All right. So If they tell you the rate is $100 an hour, all right, and let's just say you put in a 40-hour week, that's $4,000. And then they're going to tell you that their broker fee is 5%. So 4,000 times 0.05 is $200. They already got you off the top of the rate because, like I say, it's really about 125. So they already got you at $25 an hour times 40 hours. That's $1,000 plus the $200 for the fee. They got you for $1,200. That's a week. If this joker works 10 trucks every day, 5 days a week, 40 hours, doing this to every truck, that's $1,200 a day. I mean, $1,200 a week times 10 trucks. That's 12 grand. They literally can make a living just doing just that. That's 12,000 in 1 week, y'all. Times 4. 48,000 in a month. That's why you got every Tom, Dick, and Harry want a contract, want to be a broker now, out of the blue. But they don't care nothing about the trucks. Again, the principle of supplying trucks and making a little bit off the trucks is nothing new. The problem is greed and cutting the rate too deep to where you are strangling the truck. That's the problem. That's the problem. All right, so Mike, the way that you would know it, you can ask around. You can try to find out from that company what's the rate that they're paying. Is ways to find out. Is ways to find out. We always find out what a customer is really paying. It ain't hard to find out. All right, out of sight, I only make $5. There you go. Out of sight, just answer it for me. Out of sight, say you only make $5 off his sub. Out of sight, that's all I make. $5 freaking dollars, man. That's it. And that's for the cost. I got to buy checks. That's for the headache and all that. $5. Ain't trying to hurt nobody, man. Ain't trying to hurt nobody. Yeah, Dave said Pittsburgh. Okay. Old school gangster, what's good? I appreciate all the junior drive. I just bought your new book and I can't wait. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for the support. By the way, since you mentioned that, this is the new bid book. Sales have been going pretty good. Folks been picking this thing up. So, been going pretty good, man. How to bid. I told y'all, it's $1 million worth of game right here. It's $1 million blueprint. Of course, I still got all my regular stuff. That bundle's still going on. All right, who else we got? Sonia Jones was good. Raina was good. Sneaker Boy, okay. Barry A paying the less, but they 100. Yes. Anthony Jones, there you go. And Anthony, that's who I'm talking about when I say we went to them about a raise already, right? That's exactly who I'm talking about. All right, Anthony, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you some game here in a minute about that. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna enlighten y'all on something. David Chambers' season went good. Worked just about every day. Had to put a new computer in clutch one season, but kept it moving. Cool. New computer, new clutch, new computer by 2,000, clutch about another 2,000. Okay, not bad. In terms of the feds, I would suggest one get on the GSA schedule in addition to having a minority certification. Yes, sir. That's a good game. You're right about that, Armado. Mad Ken, in relation to Hall agreement, you were talking about they might sideline you if you still trying to get in. It works if you have been around the block long enough. True that. True that. I can see your point on that. You got to have some leverage, though. Ken, I don't think it's necessarily totally about how long you've been in. A lot of it is timing, too, because what happens is there are times in the dump truck business when they can't find no trucks. Even here in our area, there's plenty of trucks right now. It's not oversaturated, and I don't even worry about oversaturating because it really is all about relationships, who you know anyway. But it's all about timing when you do what you do as well, brother. But you definitely got a good point there. You want to move methodically, and as Sonia Jones said, you want to have discernment and be led on how to go about that thing. So a lot of times fools rush in. So in doing something like that, have a meeting. ask questions, that kind of thing. Build relationships first, Ken S. More than anything. See, once I got camaraderie, I build a relationship with you. It's easier then for me to do some things with wanting to also guarantee some things for myself and protect myself. I'm just not a blojo that walked off the street, been in the game 6 months, ain't built no relationships, ain't ran my mouth and let you know who I am and gotten to know you for who you are and that kind of thing. So you got, it's a strategy to this thing, man. It ain't just flying loose, it's a strategy to it. And Anthony, yeah, that ALL is a beast, man. I used to love that eating full of ALL is no joke, man. 12,000 sitting on the couch. That's right. Facts. Just do more volume. Don't have to cheat anybody. Exactly. I got to get the notebook, Skybird. Appreciate you, Skybird. So yeah, man. Y'all, I tell you, it's been good. So the thing I was going to mention to Anthony, and this is relevant for everybody, especially when it comes to DBE certification, things of that nature, it's crazy. Let me just put it this way, and this will help somebody here. You don't bid the DBE jobs for the same rate you're already hauling for. Talk Jones. If that's the case, what's the point? All you did was just solidify the work, true. But if you're not going to be in, it's a trade-off, right? I'm not saying you got to go gung-ho, but you don't bid the DBE jobs the same rate that you're hauling for. You push up a little bit. That's a nugget right there. You push up a little bit. All right, Ken, you have to do more of this, CEO. Yes, sir. I plan to, Ken. Well, I'm gonna just say this. So it won't be much, a whole big old surprise. Got a coaching program. I'm working on a coaching program, y'all. Y'all just stay tuned, bear with me. I've been grinding on it for 3-4 weeks now. My goal is to try to have it together by the end of January, y'all. So I'm working on the coaching program, letting the cat out of the bag. Working on the coaching program. Been a lot of demand for it. And I'm just excited, but I got to put in the work. I got to grind, get it together from point A to point Z. So when I roll it out, everything is going to be in order and you guys will be able to take part in that. All right. All right. So, as they talk more about realities, insurance, finance, for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to do definitely in the new year, Ken, definitely plan to do more lives. Normally I'll be on Saturday. So I plan to do more live. I just felt compelled to come on tonight in light of what was going on with this situation in North Carolina, because we need to be able to properly respond, because I know people who have felt because they got gypped or jacked that there was no recourse. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't hire a lawyer, couldn't afford a lawyer, and they just walked away. Some people have, watch this, y'all. Some people have been put out of business because a customer didn't pay them, right? So this is serious business. It's nothing to play with, right? All right. Another good side hustle is creating ticket books for owner ops. I spent a grip on that. Yeah. Sure is. Out of sight. Yes, sir. I like that. Good. That's a good side hustle. All right. So we finally getting out tomorrow. Let me see here. Rain Thursday, too wet Friday, too wet Saturday, too wet Sunday. Rain again yesterday, Sunday evening, messed us up Monday, messed us up today. We finally going to work here in South Louisiana tomorrow. And they already told me, get ready, because we're going to probably have to go Saturday. Get ready. Going to probably have to do some nights. Hey, I'm all for it. Let's do it, because this has been a slow week. But look, this is what I like to tell you. And yeah, Justin, look who done popped on the live, y'all. Justin Sturgill. Look who done popped on the line. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, Justin, about putting the lien on the job and how that actually worked for me one time. I leaned the job. They paid me 2 weeks later. I forgot to take the lien off the job. And when I started working for them 2 years later, I had to go. They called me to tell me to go take the lien off the job. All right. Appreciate you joining in, Justin. I was just going to get ready to land the plane. So here's one thing. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Here's one thing I love about the dump truck business. We just gonna be getting out tomorrow. But the good thing about dump truck business, you can start the week on a Wednesday and still work the rest of the week and make a week, right? Because you still because dump truck business is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? And so we look forward to the work is there. So hopefully the weather holds out. Justin, how's the weather in Cincinnati? How's the weather up in Cincinnati, Ohio? Yeah, Skyberg, y'all getting the rain we just got. That rain just come through here, finally cleared out this morning. So y'all should be getting the rain that we just got. I'm trying to see if Justin, if it's snowing up in Ohio. All right. And also, let me ask this question. How many of y'all not good, a lot of rain and cold, so it's not what we need. We need cold and snowy or just cold. Yeah, that's for sure, man. We got rain here. Last Thursday messed us up for the weekend. Rain came back Sunday, messed us up for the beginning of this week. So we're hopeful that we can make the rest of this week now, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And they're telling us Saturday. So we'll see what happens after that. Hopefully the forecast looks good. So hopefully we can work out and it don't get too cold, or where we can haul this asphalt. Raining in Charlotte for sure. Who's going to Matt's? Justin, I saw on your channel you're going to Matt's. Definitely want to hook up with you, man. Network with you. I am coming to Matt's this year. For those of you who don't know, that's the Mid-America Truck Show. That's the biggest truck show in the country every year in March in Louisville. So Justin, I definitely want to hook up with you. I saw on your channel you're talking about Dominique, say she's going. So I definitely want to meet you guys in person, man. Chop it up about this dump truck business a little bit. And iron sharpens iron, man. We learn from each other. Okay, cool. You go on Thursday, Friday. Cool. All right. I got to look at it too and see what day I'm coming in. But I'm gonna try to probably spend 3 days, 2, 3 days for sure up there and look around a little bit. Might come check you out, man. Louisville. How far is Louisville from Cincinnati? How far is Louisville from Cincinnati? About 2.5 hours, or just right across the bridge? No, it's on up the bridge. 'Cause that's Jeffersonville, Indiana, is right across the bridge from Louisville. Shit, I'm confused now. Hold on. I was in Louisville. I know what Louisville is at. And you right on up the road in Ohio. How far is Cincinnati on up the road? From the convention center is about an hour and 35. Okay, cool. All right. So Cincinnati is on an hour and a half from Louisville. Okay, cool, man. Might get a chance to check you out. Come check your outfit out up there in Cincinnati, man. If it ain't too cold, I'm gonna rent a car. So I plan on being able to move around a little bit. Skyburge, for sure, for sure. Right, Ken Edwards, appreciate you, man. Sneaker Boy, I plan to be there. Cool. All right, Jeffersonville will be right across the river. We're an hour and 35. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I come to Louisville. Was in Louisville year for last. Year for last. All right, guys. Justin and I was sharing with everybody 5 responses when they don't want to pay you, when the contractor or the broker don't want to pay you. Some constructive things to do when that happens. It's not the end of the world. It ain't good, but it ain't the end of the world. Do what you can. All right. All right, bring trucks to Charlotte for winter. Justin wide open. Justin say, if you follow me, I can make it in about an hour to 15. No, I don't look. I don't be needing to go into. I don't need to go to jail. In Kentucky, Ohio, try to get back up following you, unless you know the folks, and I ain't gonna have no problem. Sneaker Boy, you just 2 hours away. Okay, okay. All right. For sure, man. I like to come check you out, man. I'm always learning, forever learning. That's how I live my life. I'm always learning. Definitely don't claim to know it all. And so definitely guy that's doing it at the level that you're doing it up in Ohio, would certainly like to come and visibly see, how you got some of your stuff structured, man, because I'm forever growing myself. Kevin, you going too? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Mid-America Truck Show. Look like we got some hookups here. All right, guys, I'm gonna land the plane. I will been on about an hour and 15 minutes, man. Y'all be good. Utilize this information, and we certainly will be in touch soon. Country CEO, I'm out of here. I'm gone.